Hi, and welcome to the Glenlive Distillery. My name is Ricky Crawford, the US Ambassador for the Glenlivet, and I'm going to take you on a tour today of the distillery and show you how we make the Glenlivet, the single malt that started it all. This is where it begins, the malted barley. Basically what we do is take the barley and trick it into thinking that it's spring. What we do is soak the barley in water for a couple of days, we drain the water off and let it sit in its own damp, humid conditions. The starch that's in the grain starts to convert to maltose sugar, which is where we get the word malt from. When we have the maximum amount of sugar in there, we dry the barley out and we take it over to the mill house. Here we are in the mill room. This is a Porteous mill, put in here July 5th, 1963. Basically, the malted barley is fed into the machine. The machine has two rollers. The first set of rollers break open the husks. The second set of rollers produce a grist substance, husks, flours, and grits. The grist is now transferred to the mash tun. The mash tun is where we bring the grist and the water together. The water is unique to Glenlivet and is sourced at Josie's well right up behind the distillery. The whole process takes about 6 hours here and produces about 60,000 litres of wort. We then carry that wort off to the washbacks. These are some of the washbacks at the Glenlivet Distillery. Each hold about 60,000 litres of wort and are made from Oregon pine. It's here that we add the yeast and fermentation takes place. It takes about 50 hours and the byproducts are heat, carbon dioxide and a sweet ale of about 8% alcohol by volume. And even at this stage in the process, you can pick up on the sweet maltiness that is typical of the Glenlivet. We now transfer this sweet ale to distillation. This is a still house, where for me the most enchanting and dynamic part of the process happens. I'm very fortunate today to be joined by Hamish Proctor, the distillery manager. Tell us what exactly is going on inside these stills.
Well, it's a double distillation process where the wash is put in the still, boiled, vaporizes and passes through the condenser and returns as low wines. The low wines is then taken and put into the spirit still, boiled, vaporizes, passes through the condenser and we get the four shots which are redirected. We then get the spirit cut and then followed by the faints which are redirected. The spirit cut is forwarded for maturation.
For maturation.
Yeah.
Well, Hamish, thank you. I know you've got to get back to work. You're a busy man. However, I'm going to go off and enjoy the fruits of your labour.
Okay, thanks, Rick.
Finally, we've made it to the warehouse where the magic happens. I'm here with Ian Logan and we're going to discuss the subtleties of the maturation process. Of course, we use different types of cask, different types of wood in our maturation. Can you explain that a little bit?
Well, what we have here are the two main casks you would expect to see. This is an American bourbon barrel, 190 litres.
Which is a smaller cask, right?
And then there's the sherry butt at 500 litres, and both lend different flavours to your whiskey.
Okay.
The first of those would be the American barrel, and that's the stave inside of an American barrel. As you can see, it's charcoaled down the inside. It's a very hard wood, and that helps to create the flavours inside.
And the next stave we have, I believe that's a sherry cask, right?
Well, it's different altogether. The European oak is much, much softer wood. And if you look at that red line coming through the centre, that's how far the sherry has soaked into the wood.
Well, Ian, thank you. Thank you to everyone at the distillery. And thank you for joining us. Slàinte.
Slàinte.